The lights are going to cut out. 70,000 people in that stadium will feel it before they even see it. The noise will dip for half a second. That strange quiet that only happens right before something massive explodes. Millions more will be staring at their screens, drinks in hand, halftime snacks forgotten. And then the first beat is going to hit. By the way, welcome to Celebrity Rap Life, where the spotlight never fades. Comebacks are built from chaos, and every headline tells a deeper story. Like, subscribe, and stay locked in, because the story is about to unfold. Not just any beat, a rhythm that carries islands in it, a rhythm that carries Spanish in it, a rhythm that carries years of being told you were too different, too foreign, too much, and turning that into the loudest sound in the room. Bad Bunny is about to step onto the biggest stage in American entertainment, and this is not just another performance squeezed between touchdowns. This is the Super Bowl halftime show in Los Angeles. This is the moment that freezes time for 15 minutes and decides who becomes unforgettable. This is the stage that has crowned legends, revived careers, and etched names into history. And now it belongs, even if only for a quarter of an hour, to a kid from Puerto Rico who once bagged groceries and uploaded songs to the internet, hoping someone would listen. That alone would be enough to make this electric. But this is bigger than a career milestone. This is cultural weight. This is pressure that could crush most artists. And somehow it feels like he has been preparing for this his entire life. You can feel the anticipation in the air. It is not just hype. It is tension. Social media has been on fire ever since the announcement dropped. Fans are counting down the days like it's a holiday. Debates are breaking out in comment sections. Predictions are flying around about surprise guests, about set lists, about whether he will open with a global anthem or a deep cut for the real ones. Every hour that passes makes the moment feel heavier. Because this is not just about performing hits. It's about what those hits represent. Bad Bunny did not arrive through the traditional pipeline of American pop stardom. He did not soften his language. He did not dilute his sound. He did not wake up one day and decide to record an English crossover album just to make executives comfortable. He doubled down on who he already was. Spanish lyrics, Caribbean rhythms, reggaeton drums that feel like summer and struggle at the same time. Latin trap flows that carry both melody and menace. He built his empire in plain sight, from SoundCloud uploads recorded with raw hunger to sold-out arenas across continents, from a grocery store shift in Puerto Rico to being the most streamed artist on the planet multiple years in a row. That kind of trajectory is not luck. It is obsession. It is vision. It is an understanding of your audience so deep that it feels like telepathy. Now, imagine taking all of that and compressing it into 15 minutes. That is what makes this performance so intense. The halftime show is not a concert. It's a cultural snapshot. Every second is choreographed. Every transition matters. There are no do-overs. The camera never blinks. The entire world is watching in real time, ready to praise you or tear you apart before the confetti even hits the ground. And the world watching this time looks different than it did 20 years ago. Latin music is no longer a side category. It is not a niche you stumble upon late at night. It is dominating global charts. It is driving streaming numbers. It is setting the tone for fashion, dance, and social media trends. Artists like Bad Bunny, Karol G, J Balvin, and others have reshaped what mainstream sounds like. The invisible lines that once separated English-speaking pop from Spanish-speaking hits are fading. Playlists do not care about language anymore. They care about feeling. The Super Bowl stage acknowledging that shift is not small. It is seismic. And then there's Los Angeles. LA is not just a city. It is mythology. It is the birthplace of West Coast hip-hop. It is where G-Funk bounced out of car speakers and into history. It is where Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg turned neighborhoods into global movements. It is where Kendrick Lamar later stood on the same halftime stage and reminded the world what precision and pride look like. To perform in LA is to step into sacred territory for urban music. The ghosts of icons linger in that California air. Every artist who walks onto that field knows they are entering a lineage. But LA is also one of the largest Latino cultural hubs in the United States. Generations of families have built their lives there. Spanish flows through the city as naturally as English. Murals, food trucks, lowriders, and block parties carry stories that stretch back decades. When Bad Bunny steps onto that stage in Los Angeles, he is not performing in foreign territory. He's performing in a city that already understands him. That connection matters. Some doubters questioned whether he could hold the attention of an audience that large, whether performing primarily in Spanish could resonate with over 100 million viewers. But the numbers have already answered that question. He has sold out stadiums across the United States without switching languages. He has topped charts without translating his identity. He has won Grammys while staying rooted in the same sound he started with. Music doesn't need subtitles when the energy is right. Hip-hop fans understand this better than most. Hip-hop was born from communities that were ignored and underestimated. Black and Latino kids in the Bronx created a culture out of scraps and turned it into the most influential musical force on the planet. From the beginning, hip-hop was about claiming space. It was about telling stories that mainstream America didn't want to hear. Reggaeton and Latin trap share that DNA. They came from neighborhoods, from parties in tight spaces, from DJs blending beats that made people move even when the world outside felt heavy. Over the years, hip-hop and reggaeton have circled each other, collaborated, borrowed flows and drums, influenced fashion and slang. Bad Bunny has worked with artists across genres, from Drake to Cardi B to Travis Scott, proving that rhythm doesn't care what language you speak. So when he stands on that Super Bowl stage, hip-hop fans are not just watching an artist. They are watching a continuation of that shared history. The build-up to this performance has been relentless. Rumors about the set design suggest something vibrant, something rooted in Puerto Rican culture. There's talk of bold colors, island symbolism, choreography that blends street energy with stadium spectacle. The halftime show thrives on surprise, so the speculation about guest appearances is unavoidable. Will he bring out a fellow Latin superstar? Will he shock everyone with an unexpected hip-hop heavyweight? Will he create a moment so unpredictable that it floods timelines within seconds? The truth is, nobody knows for sure, and that uncertainty is part of the thrill. What we do know is that Bad Bunny thrives under pressure. He has performed in front of hostile crowds and turned them into believers. He has headlined festivals where half the audience didn't know his lyrics and left them chanting in Spanish by the end of the night. He does not shrink in big moments. He expands. This halftime show is also happening at a time when conversations about representation are louder than ever. Who gets the spotlight? Who is considered mainstream? Who is allowed to define what American entertainment looks like? Seeing a Puerto Rican artist headline the most watched sporting event in the country sends a message that goes beyond music. It tells kids in San Juan that their dreams are not too big. It tells bilingual families in East LA that their culture is not secondary. It tells every young artist uploading songs from their bedroom that you don't have to erase yourself to succeed. And let's be honest, the Super Bowl halftime show can make or break narratives. We have seen artists silence critics in 12 minutes. We have seen careers redefined in a single performance. The stakes are brutal. The reward is immortality. Bad Bunny knows this. He understands that this is not just about playing the biggest songs. It's about sequencing emotion. It's about balancing global anthems with raw authenticity. It's about making sure the grandmother watching from her living room feels it just as much as the teenager screaming in the front row. Somewhere in those 15 minutes, there will be a moment that sticks. Maybe it will be a camera close-up as he stares directly into the lens. Maybe it will be a stadium-wide sing-along that shakes the ground. Maybe it will be a surprise entrance that breaks the internet in real time. Whatever it is, it will be dissected, replayed, and debated for years to come. And that is what makes a good performance an historic one. The countdown is real now. Group chats are lighting up. Playlists are being curated for halftime parties. Even people who claim they only care about football are secretly curious about what he's going to do. That is the power of anticipation. That's the magnetism of an artist who has transcended genre labels. This is not just a Sunday night show. It's a coronation of sorts. Not because he needs validation, but because moments like these cement legacy. They create timestamps in culture. Years from now, people will say they remember where they were when Bad Bunny performed at the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. And when those lights cut out and that first beat drops, all the debates, all the doubts, all the predictions will disappear for a few seconds. There will only be sound, only movement, only the collision of cultures that were always meant to share the same stage. He is carrying Puerto Rico with him. He is carrying reggaeton. He is carrying hip-hop's collaborative spirit. He is carrying the weight of history and the thrill of the present. 15 minutes. That is all it takes to change perception, to make a statement so loud it echoes beyond the stadium walls, to remind the world that music evolves, that culture shifts, that the spotlight can move and still burn just as bright. Bad Bunny is about to step into that light, and when he does, it will not just be a performance, it will be a moment that proves exactly how far the sound has traveled and how unstoppable it has become. Welcome to the culture. Hit subscribe, stay curious, and never stop listening.